Assalamu alaikum, student. In the last lecture we discussed chapter number 1.1, chapter 1, that is the 1.1, and I gave this question to solve. Do you solve this? Did you solve all these questions?
Yes.
You have to share your answer with me, okay? You have to WhatsApp me, okay? Then I will check. And if I feel some deficiency in your answer, I will guide you. Now in this session we will discuss chapter number 1, and the topic is 1.2, the accounting system. What is the accounting system? We will discuss in this lecture. So, accounting system. What does accounting system mean? The principle of double entry system to record business transaction is a business transaction record, and we will use a double entry system. What does double entry system mean? In business environment, we can use two recording system. Number one is single entry system of recording transaction, and number two is our double entry system of recording transaction. But nowadays we use a double entry system. Okay. Single entry system generally record each business transaction once as a single entry. Only very small businesses and other form of businesses such as small charity clubs are likely to use this method of recording transaction, but most of the businesses using double entry system. So we will focus on the double entry system. In single entry system we record one entry only. We will never record the second impact of the entry. So what is the double entry system? Double entry system mean if business recorded some business transaction, we will record that business transaction in the form of debit and credit form. We will record every business transaction in debit and credit form. So we will learn the double entry recording system. I have taken this example from O-level book. In this example we will learn about double entry, how to record double entry with respect to assets and liabilities. Now the question is, A began business. He opened a business bank account and invested $80,000 as capital. So we will record this entry. We will record this entry. We will record this entry in double form. Double entry. What does double entry mean? Double entry mean we have to record business transaction in the form of debit and credit. Debit and credit. Every business transaction has some debit nature. Every business transaction has some credit nature items. Every business transaction. So we have write this business transaction into debit and credit form. This debit and credit form is also called double entry recording or double entry system. Number one, we record this entry in the double entry form. You know about the heads of account. You know what the head of account? Assets, liabilities, drawings, capital, income, expense. You know about these?
Yeah.
You also know about what's the debit family and credit family. For example, what's the nature of asset? Asset is a debit nature or credit nature. You know that? What's the nature of asset? Okay.
Debit.
What's the nature of capital?
Debit.
No. Capital is the credit nature. So I'll write. I will share some document with you where I write some debit family character and some credit family character. So I'll write here again. You have to remember this. Then we will start. Okay. So here is the list of some debit and credit family accounting heads. So first of all I will write debit side accounting head, and here I will write the credit side accounting head. So Number 1, the nature of asset is debit. One is nature of asset is debit. If asset increase, we debit the asset. And the second one is drawings. The nature of drawings also debit. If drawings increases, we will debit it. Third one is expense. The nature of expense is also debit. If expenses increase, we debit the expense. Fourth one is sale return. Sale return. The nature of sale return is debit. The nature of sale is credit. So sale return debit and sale is credit. And the fifth one, last one, is the purchases. The nature of purchases or purchase account debit. So if asset, drawing, expense, sale return, purchase increase, we will debit. And if all these decreases, and although it's against its nature, if asset is against its nature, mean if asset decrease, we will credit the asset. If drawing decrease, we credit the drawings. If expense decrease, we credit the expense because it's against its nature. If every accounting head goes against its nature, we will reverse the entry. So sale return nature is debit if increase. If it's decrease, we will credit sale return. If decrease in purchases, we credit the purchase. Get it? Students, got it?
Yes.
So here is the what is the accounting head who belongs to credit. Number 6 one is we can write it start from the one, that is the assets. Here is the capital. So the nature of capital is drawing. If capital increase, we will credit the capital account. Second one is liability. If business liability increase, we will credit. Third, nature of income is credit. Fourth one, nature of sale is credit. And the fifth one is purchase. The nature of purchase debit, and the purchase return credit. So if all the credit family accounting heads goes against themselves, then it will be debit. For example, decrease in capital, we will debit the capital account. Increase in capital credit, but decrease in capital debit. Decrease in liability debit. Decrease in income debit. Decrease in sale debit, and the last decrease in purchase return the debit. So you have to remember the credit nature, the and debit nature of the accounting head. So asset, drawing, expense, sale return, purchase have debit nature. Capital, liability, income, sale, purchase return have credit nature. So in this scenario, we will record double entry as per this rule. So this is the very important rule to know how to record double entry. This is the basis of double entry recording. Now we'll try to write double entry. So number 1, A began business. He opened a business bank account and invested $80,000 as capital. So we have to detect two accounting head in a single business transaction. So I get it, one accounting head, that is the capital, and the second accounting head will be the bank account, that is the asset. So I identified two accounting head. Number 1 is asset and the second one is capital. If a business owner put his money into his business and he open a bank account, business bank account. So can we say this bank account, business bank account increase mean asset increase, and owner put 80,000 in a business, putting money into a business called capital. So can we say this capital also increases? Capital can also increase. So as we learn that increase in asset means asset will be debit and increase in capital will be credit. So increase in credit, capital will be credit. So the entry, final entry will be look like this: asset debit, and we will record the asset name. So what's the asset name mentioned here? That is the bank account. So January 1, Jan 1, so we will debit the bank account debit, bank debit by $80,000, bank debit by $80,000, and capital credit by $80,000. Either you can write in this form, or you can make a format like debit or credit format. For example, look like this. The format may be like this. Here is the debit and credit, and here is the accounting items. Number 1 is bank. So bank is debit, so we will write 80,000 here, and we'll write the capital 80,000 credit. So it's up to you. Either you can write in this form, either you can write in a format form. So we'll record the second entry. That is the fixture and equipment costing $30,000 were bought and paid for by check. What does this accounting head mean? It's first Jan, it's the second Jan. First Jan, now the entry related to 2nd January. Fixture and equipment costing were bought. We purchased, business purchased the fixture and equipment. So can we say this fixture and equipment is assets? In asset purchases mean increase in asset. Business has an asset, so business acquired more asset mean asset increases in the business. How can business purchase this asset? Business purchase by using this check. Check mean business used bank account. Can we say this business bank will decrease by 30,000 because business purchased the fixture and equipment? So one asset is increased, that is the furniture, and other asset, that is the bank, decreasing. So we can say this fixture and equipment, debit by $30,000 and bank credit by $30,000. Or in this format we can write this fixture and equipment debit by 30,000 and bank by 30,000. So I'll follow this one, but you may have a choice. You can follow this type of format too. What will be the third entry? The third entry will be a short-term loan 10,000 was received from AB loan. Can we say this business took loan from AB? So if business took loan at 3rd January, so if we took loan from AB, so business cash will increase. Business cash will receive because nothing is mentioned here that $10,000 deposited submitted into the business bank account or Mr. A received this loan through check. So nothing is mentioned. We will say that it will be the cash transaction. So we can say this: the business cash will increase, and loan is the liability. Loan is the owes towards business. So business cash will increase by 10,000. So cash is an asset. Increase in asset. Cash is an asset. So increase in asset will be debit. So we will debit the cash account, and loan is the payables. Loan is the payables. Loan is the payables. So we have a person name. We have to mention person name from whom business took loan. So that is the AB loan. So we can write double entry: cash debit by 10,000. AB loan payable. That is the liability. The nature of liability. Loans mean payables. Payable mean liability, and the nature of liability is credit. So credit the payables by 10,000. So this is the way we record the double entry. First of all, we write double entry at the upper left corner, and write credit and entry at the right lower corner. So this is debit, and this is we can write this. This is debit. This is credit. This is debit, credit, debit, and credit. Now the next entry is at 5th January. That is a motor vehicle costing 9,000 was bought and paid for by check. Check mean there is the involvement of bank. So bank is an asset. So if we purchase motor vehicle and the payment made through by check from business bank account, so bank is an asset. So decrease in asset. Decrease in asset mean asset will credit. So that's why I write here: increase in asset, debit; decrease in asset, credit. So if we purchase vehicle from bank, so our business bank account will decrease. Decrease the bank account mean we will credit the bank account by 90,000. And what will be the debit? Because we purchased an asset. Increase in asset mean we debit the asset account. What's the head of asset? What's the name of accounting? Sub accounting head we will use in asset, that is the motor vehicle account. So I will debit the motor vehicle. Remember one thing: if asset name is mentioned, we have to record asset according to the asset name. Like this, here we purchase fixture and equipment. I doesn't write asset, I write the asset name. So in 5th January we purchase motor vehicle, so I record motor vehicle by its name, not just mention asset. Why? Because if I write asset here, if I record asset here, so at the end of the day I will never recognize to which asset I spend a lot of money. So I will record asset by its name. So motor vehicle debit by $9,000, and payment made from check mean bank. So bank will decrease bank mean bank will be credited by $9,000. This will be double entry record at 5th January. And the 6th January, a long term loan 5,000 was received from A's sister Malika. Ajay's sister Malika, we receive business took loan from Ajay's sister Malika. So Ajay's sister Malika will be a third party for us. If loan taken from Ajay, then it will be capital. It will be capital because business can't get loan from owner. If business receive anything from owner, that will be considered as business capital, because Ajay's sister is not the owner of a business, so we will treat is like a third person or a strange person. So if business get loan 5,000, we can say this loan, nothing is mentioned here, so we assume that the loan will be in the form of cash. So business will receive 5,000 in cash, so business cash will increase in cash mean debit, and business took loan from Ajay's sister, that is the liability of a business to pay back the loan. The entry will be at the 6th January is that is cash debit by $5,000 and loan payable. Here is the AB loan, here is the A sister's loan payable. So we can write this, the payable, account payable person mean Malika, I think so, Malika, that is the Malika, and business took loan, receive 5,000, that is the loan payable. We can write this loan payable. So this is actually the story of recording double entry from business transaction. I took some business transaction and convert it into the double entry form. Any questions, students, at this stage?
No, sir.
Okay. Can you make double entry for me if I give some examples of business transaction to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I give you some business transaction, you have to make some double entry, then we will go.